looked like you've been out in all the woods hunting.
You want to just stand there and I'll call you up after that?
Sean, are you good?
Ladies first. Be on my best behavior. I know. I'll just scooch my chair over. To behind the fellas.
You ready?
Oh yeah.
Good, how are you? Mr. Alman, you ready? Okay. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming this morning. Make sure our mics are on here. Test, test. Good morning, everybody. My name is Michael Hubbs. I'm the Director of Administration for Hamilton County Board of Commissioners. Thank you for coming this morning. As you know, this past 72 hours has been a challenging time for Hamilton County and our communities, the cities and towns. So we're going to address some of the response that we have had over the past 72 hours and also talk about the plan moving forward over the next couple of weeks. So with that said, I want to introduce Commissioner Christine Altman, President of the Board of Commissioners, for a few words.
Is this the only one working?
That one.
Okay. Good morning. And I must admit it is a good morning. It's not raining and the water is receding. Hamilton County set records, unfortunately, with a level of cresting at 24.6 feet. It's not a record anyone is envious of, but I believe we have handled it with grace. Our hearts go out to those people who have been affected by the flooding and the infrastructure loss. But now we're moving forward with things that we can control. That's the assessment, recovery, reconstruction. At the county level, we initially know we lost one significant asset, and that is the bridge on Hazeldale Parkway that is between 106th and 96th. We have engineers currently assessing that bridge to determine whether it is repairable or if, unfortunately, it is a full replacement. But rest assured, we're working as diligently as we can to both make the assessment and open up traffic if we can. We are blessed in this county that things were not worse, that we didn't lose life, we lost property. And we're also blessed that we have government entities that have resources and, more importantly, work together. And we pledge to you that we will work together and we will coordinate with both the not-for-profits and with our own resources along with state and federal resources and direct people to help where we can. I want to make a huge thank you to the first responders who showed extreme bravery and skill in their water rescues and in keeping traffic under control and people safe. Our EMA, emergency management, has worked 24/7 to keep everyone informed and coordinate resources. And all of our employees have worked tirelessly to save infrastructure and property where possible. Our sandbagging operations were a mixture of public and private and volunteers. And quite honestly, I want to do a shout out to the trustees of the jail. We had 11 folks who volunteered to come out and help with sandbagging to keep you all safe. So at this time, I'd like to pass it forward to, I believe, Sue, to talk about things in Carmel.
Thank you. Good morning, Sue Finkel, Mayor of Carmel. Yesterday we were in full operations mode as far as emergency rescue is concerned. We had approximately 215 properties affected by the flooding. We relocated 40 residents from their homes, and also we had 14 residents and staff from Bickford Senior Living, which is a concern because it was assisted living but also memory care. They went with family members or were relocated overnight to our partners at Northview Church. And I want to say thank you so much for our partners at the church for their generosity and caring. We couldn't have had a successful day yesterday without their partnership. As Commissioner Altman said, the bridge on Hazeldale remains our biggest concern as the water rushed underneath that bridge and took away the dirt, which made the bridge and the road work at risk. We had tons of spectators coming by to see what was happening. We're asking, please stay away from the area. Don't come on path, bike, motorcycle, car, or drone, frankly, to the area. We've got enough going on there that we love the concern but don't need the help. We also have River Road still closed up to 126th Street because of water across the bridge and also because of concerns about the area. As we turn our attention today to maintenance and then, of course, stability and assessment, we again ask residents take great care before coming back to their homes. We're concerned about electrical challenges, we're concerned about stability of homes, so please, if you have any concerns, call our non-emergency line or 911 to ask that question and see if you can get back in your home. We will soon be with our partners here in the county developing a debris management plan as floodwaters recede to safe levels, and we'll be communicating that. We do have floodwater information on our homepage, carmel.in.gov, if anyone wants that information. We'll be also pushing out on all of our socials. I just want to echo, I'm extremely grateful for the work of our first responders yesterday, our police, fire, streets, engineering, communications. It was an all-hands-on-deck response yesterday, and that work continues today. And I'm also grateful for partners around the community, both our neighboring cities, as well as our nonprofit partners and some of our companies in town for offering and extending their help, because that is so important, and that's what makes Carmel and Hamilton County so great. We pull together when a challenge arises, and we did just that yesterday. So thank you very much, and appreciate all your support. And now, here's Mayor Fadness with the City of Fishers.
Thank you, Sue. And as I mentioned to Mayor Finkham earlier, it was a surreal moment yesterday. We were conducting some rescues on 116th Street. We had to access the homes from the Carmel side, and I looked over and there were horses walking down 116th Street that had recently been rescued from a farm there. So that gives you an example of just how surreal this experience has been here in our suburban communities. I would just like to highlight the fact that for Fishers, our work started a little before yesterday. We were in Pendleton all day Thursday doing swiftwater rescue. Came back home Thursday night, and we were victims of the flash flooding that occurred from the water that was dumped into Pendleton and Fall Creek. Came down in the neighborhoods of Luxhaven, experienced flash flooding where we had to rescue approximately 6 individuals from that neighborhood. After we conducted operations late Thursday night, we were called back up to Anderson and Pendleton to again help and aid in water rescue. As Friday came along and the White River started elevating, we started making contact with homeowners along that corridor, at which time no one at that point had wanted to evacuate. We continued the dialogue. Some left, others did not. And as of Saturday morning, we started conducting rescue operations along the White River, where we rescued approximately 10 or 12 individuals along with their pets. At this point, our rescue operations have concluded, and we are now turning our attention to recovery. And I'm just so proud of the public responders, or the public safety responders. Their compassion and professionalism throughout the last 3 days have been incredible, and I have every confidence that our recovery will share the same level of professionalism and compassion that we've seen over the last 3 days. I would encourage any Fishers resident who is affected by this to plug into our communication channels at the City of Fishers for Fishers-specific information. We are closely coordinating with our county, but if you're looking for information about roads in Fishers or you're looking for resources in Fishers, please be sure to check our website for any information, and we look forward to serving our residents throughout the duration of this recovery. At this point, I'd like to turn it over to Mayor Jensen.
Thank you, Mayor Thaddeus. Chris Jensen, Mayor of the City of Noblesville. As my friend Scott highlighted, I want to point out the interlocal cooperation that we've all seen. A natural disaster like this, historic in nature, we've not seen these floodwaters in 113 years. But a natural disaster like this does not know city boundaries or county boundaries. We are truly all in this together, and we are here to assist one another. In terms of Noblesville, obviously a little bit of a unique perspective having the White River flow through our downtown area. So over the past 72 hours, we have been able to voluntarily evacuate about 170 of our residents and many pets as well. We have a total of about 552 residential units that have been impacted by this historic flood here in our city. We have focused heavily on three main areas, one being the Riverwood community just north of downtown Noblesville, technically out of our city limits, but within our public safety jurisdiction. We have been heavily focused in the southwest quad area of our downtown along the river, as well as Federal Hill Commons. We've been focused in working with the owners of the Federal Hill apartment building there that was built and designed in the floodplain to get power restored to that area. We'll work closely to get the floodgates down on that building here in the coming hours as the water continues to recede. I want to thank one of our local companies, Gaylor Electric, who has jumped in to come alongside us in some of the assisting of turning that power back on within the city of Noblesville. We'll be focused today on the cleanup effort, gathering with our street department, our wastewater department, as well as public safety to identify next steps in terms of cleanup. We'll be using our drone technology to fly over the community to make sure that we are assessing any and all areas. One last note I will make is obviously our wastewater treatment plant is along the river, has been there for decades. I can tell you that the floodwaters, while surround the plant, did not impact the plant's operation. It was a fully functional wastewater utility plant with no impact to the tanks that are there along the Pleasant Street corridor. I too want to thank our partners. So many have asked to step up and volunteer. Donations can be directed to the Hamilton County Community Foundation, financial donations. Volunteer operations are being coordinated through our friends at Serve Village, and then if you want to donate items, many local churches, the Red Cross is here to help with that as well, and also our friends at the Good Samaritan Network. So thank you so much for all those that continue to raise their hand to be asked to be deployed to assist us. We know that you are there keeping us in prayer and ready to help when the time is right. We do ask for folks to continue to stay off of our roadways that are closed. Stay home if you can today. Let us continue this operation. Let us get things cleaned up, and we will put you to work in our community very, very soon. With that, I'll turn it over to my good friend, the mayor of Westfield, Scott Willis.
Good morning, Scott Willis with the city of Westfield. We have fared better than our neighbors throughout the county. While we certainly have pockets of flooding throughout the city, especially along Cool Creek, as of today, nobody's been displaced, and from what we can tell, no infrastructure damage. As things dry up, we'll get a better picture there, but for now, we've not seen any infrastructure damage. Our thoughts and prayers go out to all Hoosiers throughout the state, and we'll keep them in our minds over the next several days as our communities recover. Our men and women of public safety and our streets department remain available and ready to support our neighbors throughout the county. And with that, I'll turn it over to Chad Neck.
Good morning, I'm Chad Cannett, the Director of Hamilton County Emergency Operations. Hamilton County Emergency Operations is the emergency management and 911 center for Hamilton County. Today I wanted to very quickly just give you 3 points of where we've been, where we are, and where we need to go from here, just so that we have a unity in message and going forward. I don't think I can speak without saying to the people that live in our community that we're sorry. We see you, we hear you, we know what you're going through, and we're sorry you're experiencing that, and we're here to help you and meet any possible need that we can in helping you recover from this and get through it. Secondly is thanks. Thanks to our political leadership, our public safety, our public works, and every member of our community and our business community that has stepped up in this. I've worked in a lot of places in public safety, and I've never seen the collaboration that has happened in Hamilton County and continues to go forward. And with that, a reminder that this is a marathon and not a sprint. The rain has stopped, the river is receding, but the recovery is a long process. The hazards are still there, the challenges are still there, but the spirit and the collaboration that we have in going forward is what makes this community successful, and I'm thankful for that, and I thank you all for that. Whether it be state, local, county, or our federal government, everyone is pulling in the same direction, and that's important, and it's leading to this effective and efficient recovery process. So where were we? Well, we set the record of the measurable level for White River. It went to 24.6 feet. The previous record in 1913 was 23.8 feet. So we increased that by nearly a foot. We've had significant development and progress and growth within Hamilton County, so the challenges that were there in 1913 were very different than the challenges in 2026 with that even higher elevated river level. We are currently at 21 feet, which is a significant decrease, and it continues to go down as we're here. So the roads are becoming drier and clearer, but that does not mean that the hazards have stopped. Many of those roads, barricades are pushed aside when people see that they can progress down them, or street departments haven't had the opportunity yet to assess them, but they're open, but the hazards are still there. There are large holes, there may be washouts, there may be bridges that we need to actually inspect to make sure they're effective. So continue to be under that travel watch that we are, and behave within the travel watch parameters of being safe and cautious as you go forward. We are also currently still under a flood watch. That water is receding, but as it recedes, there are going to be hazards that we didn't have prior to that, because people will start progressing into areas that they can now get to. But there are hazards that have washed into areas that they shouldn't be. There are electrical lines that may become re-energized that are still in water, as the mayor spoke of. These hazards are still there. The recovery process is what comes now, and this is where we listen to our community. And we're going to have one source to go to for those resources going forward. And these are for every part of our community. The mayors and the commissioner have articulated many of their communities that are impacted, but these are the northern communities of Hamilton County that aren't within incorporated limits that have been evacuated. They're each one of our 4 major cities. There are smaller towns. Every community within Hamilton County has been impacted, has displaced residents, or those who have had to be evacuated, and we will take care of the needs of every one of those moving forward to the best of our ability within those resources. And the location for those is our current reception center, and a huge thank you to Serve Village and the American Red Cross that are helping Hamilton County and the cities facilitate that actual resource center. That resource center is at 2003 Pleasant Street in Noblesville, Expo Hall, Room A, where it currently is located, right adjacent to this structure. The phone number for that location, 24/7, if you need aid, assistance, or have questions, is 317-645-3261. And we will have that location and those numbers manned 24/7 to meet the needs as they arise to the best of our ability. With that, I will hand it back to Mike Hubbs.
Thank you, Chad. I do want to acknowledge, as we move forward this week, as the mayors and Commissioner Altman have indicated, our plan is communication collectively as government. We work hand in hand, and I just ask the public to be patient. It's going to be a long week ahead. We have to assess the infrastructure, make the necessary actions to ensure the public safety is well here in Hamilton County. I do want to acknowledge Congresswoman Sparks is with us this morning. She's been a great partner in helping us communicate at the federal level with the assistance needs. And also want to acknowledge we have so many not-for-profit groups in Hamilton County, and the outreach has been tremendous. And we really appreciate all that support moving forward. From a government perspective in Hamilton County, we are open for business effective tomorrow. No delay, no impediment. All offices and departments at the county level will be ready to do business, rolling up our sleeve, recognizing the flood has caused a significant impact for a lot of communities. And we have all of our department heads here with us this morning who can answer any questions as necessary, because I know the next week's going to be rough. So it's been a rough time here in Hamilton County, but again, I thank everybody for their patience, and this could have been a lot worse. As indicated, we're very lucky. We haven't had anybody seriously injured and no deaths reported. So with that said, that concludes this portion of it. I'll open it up for any questions or comments.
Would you mention Noblesville, sir?
Oh, yes, Noblesville Serve also is with us today. Did you want Michelle to? All right, you want to come up, Michelle, real quick? Noblesville serves a very important impact. That's how we register some of our needs. And so Michelle Schmidt from Noblesville Serve will just real quickly elaborate on some of the help they're providing.
Hi, thank you everyone. It's been amazing to see our community show up. Right now, we are known for organizing volunteers, and so that is our role here today. We're giving a place for people to belong, to serve, to show up in our community. Right now, we have about 1,300 volunteers who are like saying, I'm ready, I'm going to be here. So we are housed here at the Forage Fairgrounds. We have a reception area. One thing I would like to ask for our volunteers is, if you have not signed up for a specific spot, hold tight. We have an influx of people coming in, which is amazing, but we also need to help manage that a little bit. So we are accepting some donations, but we are referring a lot of donations to Good Samaritan Network. We're partnering with them. We're partnering with the Red Cross and EMA as well. So, but I just really want to say thank you. Watch our social media website. That's where we're going to be putting the most updated information. So things are moving target. We're in this for the long haul. So thank you all so much for showing up.
Thank you, Michelle. With that said, open up for questions. Russ, go ahead.
Mike, this might be for Chad. Understanding it's going to change neighborhood by neighborhood, town by town, but what is the process, let's say, for the next 72 hours for residents who realize they can't go live in their houses, but they just need an hour to go back in and see what damages to their house? How do they do that?
Yes, so again, that would be contacting that initial number that I gave, the 317-645-3261, or if they're more familiar for that type of request, going to their local public safety and police department and asking if they need to be escorted or if they can approach those neighborhoods. The biggest general rule is if it is still barricaded off, get permission before walking back in, because there may be a hazard that they don't see prior to entering that neighborhood. But we're going to do everything we can to get people either escorted in or the neighborhoods back open to where they can actually approach their neighborhood. And one thing to remember is that in the next several days, you're going to see a lot of public safety personnel, emergency management personnel doing damage assessments, and they're literally walking through and maybe standing in your yard taking a picture, but they'll all be wearing our emergency management vests when they do that, because that's the only way for us to do those accurate damage assessments on individual structures and businesses to go for the individual assistance part of the federal declaration. But yes, if they'll contact their public safety or the Hamilton County number, we'll be able to direct them and get them assistance with that.
For the commissioner, is it too early to even start coming up with a ballpark figure what this is going to cost for the municipalities, let alone trying to determine what the private losses are?
We are just watching the waters recede, so we will go through the assessment process, and that's critically important with respect to garnering the cost for federal aid and federal reimbursement. So unfortunately, it is early, and we're in the process of that assessment.
What is the status of the various water treatment plants? We heard Noblesville was okay, but we were down on Noblesville, we were down River Road. The water treatment plants, are they operating, are they shut down? Is it not dangerous?
I believe we're okay, but
Thank you. The Carmel Utilities is wholly owned and operated by the City of Carmel. It includes water treatment and distribution, and also wastewater treatment. Both of those plants are fully operational. There's been a couple of things that we're closely monitoring as it regards to the river and water flow around our wastewater treatment plant, but right now, other than a minor inconvenience of one water line being broken in the Hazeldale 106th Street Bridge area, which was quickly capped off, and we're working around that, there's no impacts to either. And I want to underscore, no concern about the health of our water system.
So you said 250 properties damaged, correct?
That's correct. 230, yes. And just in Carmel, though, sir.
Yes, correct.
Thank you. And I do want to reiterate what the mayor and commissioner said. We have not been informed. All public health systems in the county are fully functional. There's no public health concern. The water has been still good. The wastewater, we're up and running. So I have no reason to believe anybody in the county cannot feel comfortable with what we have intact. It will remain intact. Obviously, if that changes, we'll let you know.
But I would assume that the water running in the streets of the neighborhoods would be contaminated.
Yes,
You don't
yes.
want your kids playing in it.
Yes, yeah, frankly, in White River or any of the creeks on the flow, that's not sanitary water. So absolutely, you want to avoid those water situations. And not just when the water goes away, when it resides, because frankly, there's been some utilities that have been covered up with water. So that's part of the recovery phase, is to allow our first responders or utility professionals to enter those areas which have been submerged for an extended period of time, so we can assess the damage and make sure it's safe to go back.
Could we call up Jason? Our health department director is here today. It's nice that we have public water supplies that are safe, but I would note that in the rural part of the county and even some of the incorporated areas, some of the people flooded are on wells, and I'd like Jason Lee Master to address and give advice to our folks to the safe way to reestablish their drinking water.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'm Jason Lee Master. I'm the administrator of the Hamilton County Health Department. We will be working with businesses. We will be working with residents as those issues present themselves, providing information about how to chlorinate wells, how to dispose of food that's been exposed, not only to floodwaters, but also that have been affected by temperature losses because of electrical losses that have been affected by the floods. We'll also be working with our municipalities and all the utilities as any issues that might come up with messaging. And I would also say people that are affected and have been affected and have those questions, I think one of the things that will help us as health departments, and also as we work with our City of Fishers Health Department, is to direct people to the number that's been provided. So that way it also will help us do the assessments that we need to do, that we can properly account for those individuals in those affected areas.
What is your advice for as people start getting back into their homes? What should be the first steps they're taking to document the damage, get cleaning supplies, contact people for getting assessments? First step people should take to get home.
First step is the best thing you can do is take photographs. Take photographs with your phone, document that information. Certainly this is going to be a marathon, as Director Cannett said, and we're going to work through that long haul. The next things that we'll do as we're trying to do with dry out and educating is trying to work around the issues like mold that affect asthma and those kinds of things. So taking those general precautions like wearing gloves, potentially wearing an N95 mask for respiratory protection as we get into that overhaul process. Those are going to be key things that we're going to do. And then secondly, the same thing is just general good sanitization and hygiene, cleaning up, hand washing after you've been working with exposures. The mud, the leftover waters, those kinds of things, they're going to have small contaminants in them that we need to address.
What about families who have been displaced and won't be able to get back into their homes within the next week or so? What can they expect in terms of support and shelter?
So that's why we're establishing that one source and one number, and CERB will actually address this further, but we're addressing the needs, and there is a lot of concern and push out, and you hear the word shelter, and there are various different kinds of shelter, and I think people have a vision of a government set, established tent or structure as a shelter, but those are only necessary when the disaster is at such a scope that it wipes out any type of residential or habitable structures within that community, and those needs are there. Right now, if you get a few miles outside of our Fall Creek and White River, Cicero Creek areas and those actual flood plains and flood areas, people are going about their normal daily business. We have numerous hotels and public facilities. So when we talk about sheltering, we're sheltering those in locations that already are established. They meet health code, they have bathrooms, they have privacy, they have bedding, they have food sources nearby, and we have all of our assistance. So we have sheltering, and we're working with those individuals right now. We currently have them sheltered within hotels, and we're working on funding and solutions to try and keep those, because it's going to be more equitable for them and more efficient and effective for us to possibly use existing housing structures rather than develop a shelter as people see on TV or areas hit by a hurricane. Because although this is a catastrophic disaster for us, we're blessed in that we weren't totally devastated and we have those resources available. So they need to make sure that they're contacting us, that they register with us, they ask for that assistance, so that we're able to provide that and continue that throughout this disaster.
How are they supposed to know that who to call and contact and kind of
Okay, great question. Thank you, Devin. So I want to reiterate that we are the hub here at the Hamilton County 4-H program. So if you are somebody who's looking for support, food, water, shelter, we need to know that. And coming here and connecting with Red Cross is the way to do that. So showing up in person, connect with us. Otherwise, we won't know if you need supports. Does that make sense?
but these people have lost their homes, they've lost
Yeah.
everything, and trying to like manage, recovery and just their basic needs from day to day. It can be really difficult for them to even get to the fairgrounds. Like, is there going to be any kind of effort to reach them where they are?
So we'll have that number. Go ahead.
I was just saying, thanks for the question. We are proactive. We know who the folks are. We know our communities. We've been down to these homes door by door. Our program in Noblesville, for example, which is probably one of the hardest impacted, our Noble Act program has already identified those folks in conjunction with Serve Noblesville. We will be on the street still today, going house by house. We know this community.
Hey, Chris, you've got 14 families that are getting kicked out at 11 a.m. tomorrow at a hotel here in Noblesville that I've been in contact with.
Right. No one's getting, I appreciate the question. No one's getting kicked out of the hotel. Okay, keep going.
The question is a valid one of these families, while we appreciate the support, these families have limited ability, transportation-wise, to get to the fairgrounds.
Yep.
They have limited ability or potential ability to use their cell phone to call this number. We're just asking what that addressing that is.
Yeah, we will provide transportation. We know who they are. First of all, what I wanted to answer is no one's getting kicked out at 11 a.m. tomorrow. We know who the folks are. We will monitor and work directly with them. And we have transportation services through Janus Development Services, for example. And again, every police department and fire department is prepared to escort where needed. So no one will be kicked out. We will work hand in glove with those that are. If there are individuals, obviously, Serve Noblesville and the Red Cross will want to know that. And we'll work proactively to make sure that they are taken care of.
And I just want to reiterate, communication is a key in any crisis. There's one point that Director Canet has identified. That's the phone number that's been provided. So anyone, whether you're a victim of the flood or you know someone who potentially needs help, call that number, simply get with us so we can address it. Because it really is a case-by-case scenario. Some folks have been impacted more than others. But you're only as good as what you know. And you got to have one point of communication, and that's going to go to the number that's been provided. So I ask anybody, if you know somebody who's in need of help, and maybe they can't use their phone, maybe they can't get somewhere, call the number that's provided or simply reach out to any of us at the government level so we can filter that to the appropriate officials who can address the problem. So, any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Sure.
I would just like to say thank you to everyone in the community for all your efforts, but I would also like to offer out 1-800 Red Cross. We are there for recovery, we're there for the relief efforts, and also 211 assistance. We are capturing this and working that information is pushed out to all these communities to gather that as well. So just want you to let you know that some of those resources are available for anyone who needs that.
Again, we'll reiterate, Chad, give them the number again, and we'll post it on the website afterwards. We'll push it out for the media. We'll make sure you guys have it.
Yeah, I think it's important in closing that we go back to that one number, one location, and we'll direct it from there and source and assist those individuals. And we're very conscious of what we have now. The 17, not 14 individuals in the hotel. We're aware of those. We're aware of those deadlines and that initial information. That's not their information. That hotel is within eyesight of the relief center. So yes, we have every one of those, and we have every one of those individuals, and we will get them that assistance. For those needing that additional assistance, remember the phone number, 317-645-3261. The location is the Hamilton County 4-H Grounds Expo Hall A, 2003 Pleasant Street. That's right here. So that number and that location will be in operation. That's going to be our clearinghouse for those that need assistance and need help. And if there are those that we aren't aware of, call there. You have to come there physically and register for that assistance, or call so we can get that assistance if you're not able to physically come there, so that we can get everyone registered and get that assistance tracked and make sure that we don't miss deadlines for people who feel like they don't have other resources or options. We will take care of those needs. Thank you.
I want to thank the mayors for coming today and giving us an update. Again, thank you for all of our employees, first responders. It has been tough, but we've gotten through to this point, and now we start the hard work of building things together. I would point out that Hamilton County, even with our cooperation in government, we have a stronger cooperation with our not-for-profits. We have Nancy Chance here with the Good Samaritan Network, who has worked tirelessly to weave together all of our resources and not-for-profits so that we communicate with not-for-profits through our township trustees, who are another resource, and the resources we've been blessed with in this county. So thank you all for coming, and let us know if we can help.
I'm going to get those 30 sheets real quick.
Hey, Chris, sorry, I'm not looking. That's okay. I was with the family this morning, and one of them was out at 11.
My question is, have you communicated that to the right cross? Okay.
Michelle and Red Cross is the minute this morning.
Okay.
We tried to find you this morning to talk to you and couldn't find you.
But the mayor's is best for to go to the Red Cross probably.
We already did.
Got it.
I was like, as soon as I said that, I go, that wasn't right.
All right, I'll put down my notes. I was taking notes
Sorry.
and I was like, I don't know. You guys doing okay?
Yeah, we're doing okay. You know, just a long day yesterday, and our teams are tired, and because they were working up in Anderson the day before as well, and I think our bigger concern is just, you know, seeing what happens around this bridge, because the water flow from over yesterday to this morning is totally different under that bridge.
The cops are saying.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He said you guys might have a new water structure, one of the cops said in Carmel, and I was like, all right.
Yeah,
at least you're trying to keep something.
the waterfalls.
The waterfalls. That was insane. Driving down 96th Street, I looked to my right, I'm like, that looks like Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
Yeah.
What is,
But it's a little trickle west, or excuse me, east normally, and as soon as that water got high enough, the pressure got high enough. But I think the interesting thing watching it was coming from the north, it's coming from the south from our solar field at the wastewater treatment plant, and from the east from the river. So it was just pouring in, and they're like rapids.